All right, after both your egg hutches are screwed onto the side walls, you can go ahead and take your egg hutch roofs, which there's gonna be two of them just like this, which are also pre-drilled. You're gonna notice we have mitered a bevel, or we cut a bevel onto the roofing. You want that bevel to go uphill. That bevel is gonna match, or gonna go right up flush against the wall here. So that seals that up nice. And then what I do is I just take my fingers and kind of feel it on both sides so that's even. So I'm, happy left and right. And then you're gonna take your black roofing screws with your nut driver. And what I like to do is I start in the middle and get that screw started in that hole. Again with your nut driver. Okay. And then do your remaining top two here and here. Okay, making sure that's up tight. And then you can do your remaining four at the bottom. Again, I like to start in the middle, here, and then work your way out. Make sure it kind of flattens it out. And then you just do the same exact thing to the roof on the other egg hutch. All right, right now what we're going to do is show you how to put your roof bars together. And we had to notch them in order to fit them on your pallet. And so what we've come up with is a half lap system that's actually going to make it very, very strong. And you're going to have four pieces. Two that are going to be numbered 1, two that are going to be numbered 2. You want to match up 1 to 1, 2 to 2, so the holes actually line up together. And also take your glue, make sure you put a fair amount of glue on the long grain here and the long grain here. Flip them over top, and then we have the holes all pre-drilled and countersunk for you. And with these, you're going to see these little tiny 1-inch black screws. Go ahead and grab them. Once you got all your glue on, go ahead and number 2 bit, same bit you've been using this whole time. And go ahead and drive these screws in. And if you have any squeeze out, which most likely you will, just wipe it down with a damp rag or your finger. No big deal. And then do the same exact thing with the number 2 roost bar. Alright, right now we're going to show you how to put in your what we call the perch bars that go in front of the egg hutches. You're going to have 2 of these. What I like to do is take your 2.5-inch screws, get them started. And all you're trying to do is just give them a spot to be able to get in and out of the egg hutches easier. And I usually come down about 1 inch from the top of the high density. Even it out left to right, both ways. Maybe kind of probably right about there. This should be kind of, lined up here to here and here to here. And then just drive your screws in. Just make sure you're level. And the high density is slippery. So, and then you're going to do the same thing with the second perch bar on the other side. And then after you get that in, you can do your, what we call the deep litter ladder. So another 2.5-inch screws. It's been pre-drilled at the top here. Let's push them screws in. And these are going to line up with these pieces of framing right there. Just kind of line up your angles and screw them in. Alright, once you got your roost bars together, you can go ahead and bring them over to the inside of the hen house. And then inside here you have what we call the sockets. They'll just drop right down into there. And these are just screwed in. We'll leave them in, but you can move them around if you want to. Depending on how many total chickens you have inside your hen house, you could eliminate one whole roost bar, give them a little bit more room. Or move these left to right if need be. So, but again, you just drop them in, and then you put in the second roost bar in the other second set of sockets. All right, for the installation of your ramp, you're going to grab this piece right here, and what we normally do is just put it right up against the bottom trim, and then 2.5-inch screws, and then you're just going to screw it in. Make sure you're even left to right. Screw it in there. Screw that in all the way, and that's it for your ramp. Okay, so for the installation of your run door, this is the front run wall, and what I didn't know was which way you wanted the door to swing. And because this door has to separate, the door had to come off anyways. So with your kit, you're going to have the run door, and you're going to have black hardware to match the rest of your hardware. And it's going to be in this kit right here. You're going to have 3 hinges and a doorknob that's just a fake doorknob, but either way. So just go ahead and screw your hinges on, and depending on which way you want to swing, will determine which side the hinges go on. And when you do it, what you want to do is you have about a 1/4 inch gap from the top and bottom, and a little under a 1/4 inch gap from side to side. So you try to find the perfect space and opening. Sometimes you can use some shims, like a stack of washers, or maybe something you have laying around to help space it out to make it a little bit easier. If you have some shims, a lot of times that's what we do, is we use shims to kind of get in place. So, and then after you get the hinges on and the door on, one of the important parts for security is going to be the gate latch, okay? So now, this is going to be the gate latch that we're going to send out to you. And you've probably seen one of these before, very similar to any other gate latch. The difference is we already put a cable on for you, and that cable is going to be so that you can pull the gate latch open and close so you don't get locked inside. So this is just going to go on the opposite side of your hinges, and there's going to be 4 screws for the gate latch, and then 2 for the striker. And what you're going to do is screw this gate latch on wherever you want it, and then screw your striker on the door so it'll pretty much mate with the gate latch. And then once that's on, take your top of your latch and just push that against the wood a little bit to make a divot. And then where that divot is, you're going to want to drill a hole in order to feed this cable through so it's on the inside. So you're just going to thread it through, and that way you'll be able to actuate it from the inside if need be. And that should be it for your run door.